it would have been important for me to know this because I learned this a little late because I would hear a story like that and go, oh my gosh, like if I were to start something today, it wouldn't make 200 units. It wouldn't make 200 whatever.
Yeah. He had also been making knives
right, exactly.
on the side
so it's
for
like
10 years.
Yeah, so it takes, that's the thing, is that it takes like a very long time of doing the thing on the side.
And he also, I should note, he was a lineman. So he got his education and startup as an apprentice.
Okay.
So he came up through the trades and got financially stable as a journeyman lineman before he quit his job and started doing the knife business himself.
Welcome to Work Hard. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Jason.
Now this is podcasting.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Work Hard. I'm your host, Ethan. With me, Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Work Hard.
Welcome back. I know it's been a hectic week for you. You've been desperate. You've been laid upon, besieged by the worries and the terrible, never-ending toil of life, and you've thought to yourself,
Where is my work hard?
Where is my work hard? I need the easy listening of Work Hard. I need the relaxing.
Is that what we do?
The relaxing, whatever. You enjoy it, and I know that to be true. So we've got a big show today. I'm going to sip some water. We've got a big show. I think it's a fun topic today.
I think so.
I don't think I'm going to go after anyone.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Probably.
Maybe the Chinese.
Probably the Chinese, yeah.
But by this time, there's not much. Nobody pushing back there.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that's fine. We got a fun one for you guys today. They are fair game. The Chinese. I got you that birthday present.
Yeah.
And I went in to track the package, just like see how close it is.
Yeah.
It's coming from China.
Awesome.
I was really upset. I mean, I know it was made.
You didn't buy me an American-made gift?
I didn't buy you an American-made gift. Once you see it, you'll be like, yeah, of course this was made in China.
Yeah.
The only people who would make something like this is a Chinese man. I mean, an American would like it and make it if it was, is what it is. But
okay, the
Chinese people. All right, we got to pump the energy up, dude. We got to bring it up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in a state of recovery. I've had my first 2 full nights of sleep in a month and a half.
Yeah.
I have no idea how old my daughter is. My newborn daughter. Can you guys see that this is bothering me? Hold on. We're here.
Just a little bit of technical difficulties with the lights.
A little bit of technical difficulties. We're back. Yes, my daughter, my newborn daughter is she's had trouble pooping.
Typical
newborn stuff. I didn't realize that our Abigail, our original daughter,
not the replacement daughter,
which, by the way, when we had our first daughter, or when we had Goldie, our second, she came out, we were there, and then my mother-in-law texted us and said, Abigail has a really terrible fever and she's coughing a lot. And Emily was overjoyed with the presence of our new daughter, and so I said, well, at least we had this one just in time to replace the one that's about to die of sickness.
Wow. Dark humor right out of the gate.
She's like,
it's not funny.
It's like, that's not funny.
It's not funny.
It's pretty funny. And she didn't die. She lived, so it is funny.
Yeah. It was a normal fever.
It was a normal fever. Well, it was, yeah.
This isn't Laura Ingalls days.
No. Yeah, thank goodness we have medical science. What was I saying? Oh, right. See, I'm tired. I'm in recovery. I'm in a state of recovery. So our daughter, our second is having trouble pooping.
Uh-huh.
And we went to the doctor and they were like, have you tried we should try a chiropractor. You can do adjustments on infants.
Right, because they get tweaked coming out sometimes.
Yeah. And so I was like, I don't know, chiropractor for a baby? That sounds nuts. And they were like, well, but they're not like reaming her like a towel.
Yeah.
They just like massage
the whole
her.
spine.
Yeah. They just massage her. So I was like, all right, that sounds fine. And they went. I didn't go. I was doing something. Oh, that's got to end. What's this? This better be important. Spam call. Who would have thought? Thanks, Indians. The amount of Indians that call me every day. There are a billion of them, if anyone was wondering.
Yeah.
And they all call me. The chiropractor. Thank you. Jeez Louise. Podcasting. We're doing it. The chiropractor. They went to the chiropractor. I wasn't there, so this is secondhand account. But they did the chiropractic adjustment. You know, they reamed her like a towel, and she exploded twice.
It worked, huh?
Yeah, erupted everywhere. She was
awesome.
like, my wife was like, it was, and the chiropractor was like, oh, here we go. Like, wasn't even fake. Yeah, she was just like, yep. She's like, yeah, that's normal. And she's like, well, she definitely needed to poop.
Took her, I was like,
yeah, like take a toothpaste, dude. Yeah.
Squeeze her out.
Yeah. So now
Goldie goes, ah.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, her eyes crossed.
Oh, it feels good.
Yeah, she fell asleep immediately. Yeah. She actually did. She erupted and immediately fell asleep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It must have been. Can you imagine how relieving that must be to be stopped up? It's not like she wasn't pooping at all, but she wasn't pooping like a normal newborn, and to be just like stopped up like that, and then have somebody crack your back and you just defecate your pants, must be insane.
I don't think I'd fall asleep after that.
No, probably not. I probably wouldn't either, but.
But babies do.
Infants find it quite relaxing, yeah. So she's back at the chiropractor today, this morning, actually.
Yeah.
So she's probably going to explode again. But
just where she's going to go for pooping from now on is
just anytime she needs to take a dump, just hit the chiropractor.
It's been 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, it costs $35 to poop. She makes the did any of your kids when they were newborns make like insane noises at night? Or were they all quiet?
I don't recall particularly.
She makes the most insane, terrifying noises all night long.
Really?
Yeah, while she's sleeping, she'll go,
oh.
And you'll look over at her, and she's just normal. Like, she's just sitting there just breathing, everything's fine. Or she'll grunt all night because she's trying to poop. So she'll just, all night, she's going, and it does at times sound like an adult man. It's like there's an adult man in the corner of your room trying to take a dump.
Yeah.
In your corner. Yeah, it's nuts, dude. All night. I've got to the point where I sleep through it for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, small announcement today, sort of small. We're not doing couch cushions today.
Oh yeah, we're going to spin that out to its own thing.
We have a spin-off show now.
Yes.
Work Hard has become so successful that we took one of its minor characters and built Frasier.
Yeah. This is just we can't handle the amount of success with one show. We need to need to double it. Yeah, we know so many of you guys come here specifically for couch
we'll
cushions.
See the viewership of Work Hard drop off
drastically.
Steeply.
Yeah.
What? No recommendations?
Yeah.
Forget this.
Permanently destroyed. Highly valuable content coming from couch cushions, but we are going to make it its own show. Short, quick. It's going to be like 10, 15 minutes. It's not going to be like a whole nother podcast.
No, goodness, no.
That would be crazy. I don't think either of us have time for that.
Not if we want to do anything else worthwhile.
Nope. Nope.
Watch us reverse this decision by next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do one episode and be like, it's just one.
It's too
thing,
much.
Too many. Yeah.
We said we were gonna cut down the amount of podcasting.
Yeah, we did. We did say we were gonna do that.
Who knows? Maybe we won't do that.
It's really, I think one of the things that's been extremely, and this kind of ties into what so today we're going to talk about just kind of the, maybe a good way to encapsulate it is like the future of work, maybe. Something like that.
Okay.
Something, you could say maybe
Sounds
something
good.
like that. I think one of the things that was revealing to me, because I've only, as far as the creative side of things, I've only ever considered myself a writer. And even when I was a part of a larger endeavor, I was only ever a writer. And so trying to tackle these projects as a whole, it's very revealing how much more difficult it is to do the whole thing.
Right, because you think about filming, editing, directing.
Yeah. Getting everybody together.
Yeah.
Like
sets, casting.
Yeah, all that stuff is like...
Yeah, managing people.
It's an order of magnitude bigger.
More than just... Because writing's its own career path.
Right.
All on its own.
Right. Now you
But we
understand
figured,
what's like.
maybe two of us can do all of it.
I doubt two of us can do all of it. I bet we'll at least have to hire an editor, but we'll see, man. I mean, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun so far. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with casting.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Being ruthlessly judgmental towards people that come in. Nah, they don't have the right. Their eyes are not right.
I won't be there then. I'm not going to sit through that. You let me know who will play, this minor character. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I won't be that way. Exciting times, man. Yeah, but work is things. Maybe that's a good way to crack this thing open. Is that I think as you endeavor to do stuff. What angle do I want to take here? I mean, I guess I was thinking this morning. I was thinking on the way here. I'm 30, right? I turned 30 last month, and I remember being 25 and having this really impending sense of a wasted life, and having not done anything.
Your quarter life crisis.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, which I think is, I think that's a fair feeling to have if you're 25. I think that's probably good.
As long as it motivates you.
Yeah, as long as it motivates you.
If you're not just going to...
paralyzes you, then yeah, it's bad. But if it motivates you...
your reaction to it's bad. So we'll say it's a good thing to have happen to you that you're like, I haven't accomplished as much as I would have liked to.
Yeah.
But don't let that drag you down.
Right. Yeah.
Allow that to motivate you and say, well, what practical steps can I take towards what I want to accomplish by the time I'm 65?
Right. Yeah. And so I think I was not... I think I suffered from not having an articulated goal. And that was a really big problem. And when I was 25, Hyper Premium came to exist, and Work Hard had its first couple episodes. And so that started to abate at around 25, but I still had a very serious, I hated my career. I did not feel useful or like I was doing what I ought to be doing. I wasn't using my skill set in a way that I felt was like optimal. And so it was not good. But now I'm 35 and I've like flipped that completely, where I feel like not 35. I'm 30. Now I'm 30. I'm not. I was 25. Now I'm 30. Not 30. Not 20. Now
you
I'm
identify
35.
as like a poly-age.
Yeah. No, I'm multi-aged. Yeah. No, I feel like now that I'm 30, I'm like, dude, I have so much time. Like, I feel like we have so much time.
Well, I think that, to realize that we do have a lot of time.
Yeah.
And that it will be a lot more productive.
A lot more productive, yeah.
I shouldn't say in some ways. It will be I have been far more productive in the last 10 years than the previous 10 years, because a lot of the previous 10 years was just gathering life experience.
Yeah.
And making mistakes and wasting a lot of time. And now looking back, so I suppose now looking back, I wish I hadn't wasted so much time.
Yeah.
Put so much time into video games that didn't profit me anything except entertainment. So I have nostalgic feeling for those, but I have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't even a social thing for me. So it was mostly by myself stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't I don't
know, because I feel I agree with you. Like I have that sense of like, because I did the same thing. Like I burned a lot of time on video games.
Yeah.
And a lot of time drinking with my friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of time drinking, playing video games. But
you cross-pollinated those hobbies.
It seems like the most industrious guys I know wasted so much time in their 20s. And I almost kind of don't want to talk about it because I don't want to like give a 20-something-year-old guy the wrong idea here, but there's got to be something that has to have some kind of utility, because every guy I know that was like the only exception being maybe Chase, but we haven't really even talked that much about how he spent his 20s.
I don't think he knows what a video game is, really.
Well, yeah, but
in
there's
concept,
other ways,
he's like read about them.
There's other ways to burn time, But he's a really industrious guy, and he may be the only really industrious person that I know that doesn't have the story of like from like 21 to 28, I did basically nothing.
Yeah.
Every other guy I talk to that's like family, good job, knows what he's doing, is like, yeah, from 21, from the time I could have a beer, basically it's like from the time I had my first beer until sometime after I got married, I was like a wastoid loser. Like in their mind, like they weren't like a burnout, they were in college or whatever, and they were moving the ball, but it was moving very slowly, and the vast majority of their time was spent slacking off in some way.
Right, a lot of procrastination. Because they were too intelligent to actually need to spend all that time on the schoolwork they needed to do to get passing grades.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah. Which
might be why they flip and finally find purpose and drive in something and can actually occupy their minds. And they have families now and responsibilities, which chips away at any
it's also
free time.
Huge motivator.
Yes.
The first kid is a huge, like, it's time to get serious.
Yeah.
I got to go get some money. That's a huge one.
And depending on your father-in-law, you may not have gotten permission to marry that girl without having made certain commitments.
Right. Yeah, certainly.
Mine was like, I want to see a budget of what you make and how you plan to support my daughter before I'll give you permission to put a ring on her finger.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could run into that, certainly. I think, I don't know. There's just so much about life that I still don't understand. I think there are huge swaths of it that I think I've got pretty figured out, which is probably the fatal last word, famous last words. But there's also pretty significant pieces that that I think are like, it should be this way, but then it's not really that way in like as things roll. Like the guys I think about that are like doing well today, that I know that are like getting it done, are like guys that I spent entire days on like a Tuesday being drunk with, like
my wife is encouraging in that she's read about a lot of guys who did not hit it big. They didn't have a successful venture really until like they were middle-aged.
Yeah.
Like there was a guy, I think he was the one who designed the landing crafts for like D-Day.
Wow.
Like he tried a bunch of other stuff before that. So he was middle-aged before he scored that.
Yeah.
And took off.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ended well. He may have kind of burned out because he was a difficult person to work with, but
that's a pretty important historical contribution. You're going to go down in history for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter how difficult you were.
I mean, if that's all your life amounts to, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good life.
I just mean if you didn't manage to hold on to the wealth or build it into anything, it was like an explosion of you got one good idea and you weren't able to capitalize on it. But the point being that you can try and fail a whole bunch and you learn a lot from all those failures and the life experience, and then eventually you will, if you keep pushing through and keep trying. If you're a serial entrepreneur, you're like, well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
But I did learn a lot from that business that I ran for 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that's like extremely encouraging is that Christ did not start his ministry until he was 30.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of prep work.
Yeah. It was a lot of prep work.
Yeah.
A lot. For Christ, for God, there was a lot of prep work. And my hero, one of my heroes, Bernie Mac, he didn't do stand up for his until he was 30 years old. That was the first time he ever did stand up.
Oh, really?
When he was 30. Yeah, and he became one of the most, in my opinion, the greatest stand up of all time, and unquestionably, objectively, one of the most prolific of all time.
Really?
Like, he's one of the most. Yeah, I mean, Bernie Mac, dude, that. Can I get some milk and cookies?
Yeah.
This dude. That boy, who you know walk around like this with his hand out? That boy, like on Good Time, Michael. It's just, it's good, dude. That's very good. The evolution of work for young men. I mean, I think if you're 20 now, if you're in your 20s now, I think in a lot of ways it's an exciting time. I think it's a potentially risky time. I think a good way to kind of segue into the meat and potatoes of what we want to talk about is to talk about what you had brought up before. So you want to give us a little context there?
Yeah. So I just finished listening to an interview by Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe has a podcast called The Way I Heard It, which is really good. Mike Rowe, if you don't know, was the host of Dirty Jobs and other shows like it. Big proponent of the trades in general, and getting building back up skilled labor in America. He was interviewing two different. I haven't finished the interview actually. It's a two-parter. So the first guy he interviews was the CEO of the Montana Knife Company, Josh Smith. Josh Smith. It sounds like, I don't think they said his age, but it sounds like he's at least middle-aged or a little older because he has kids that he talked about raising. So he started the Montana Knife Company out of his garage by himself in 2020 or 2021, making handmade knives. And I think he said he did 200 knives the first year. And then he now he's scaled up. And in the last, so that's 4 years now, he has 80 employees.
Yeah.
Who report
insane
to like his property where he runs the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, just crazy.
Yeah.
And I think he said they're doing like 160,000 knives this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's so there's a couple things I want to
I should say also they're, so it's obviously it's an American company, but they also I believe their whole supply chain is American.
Yeah, which is pretty profound. It's not easy to do.
I think he said steel might be a problem, though. They might have trouble getting the steel that they want because American steel manufacturing has taken a large hit. I don't know exactly when, but he talked about the largest steel producer in the U.S. having gone bankrupt and was bought out by a Swedish company. So we don't even control that. I think, I won't quote me on this, but I think he said something like 90% of U.S. steel
is foreign owned.
Well, was from that company. The U.S. steel market, they had almost all of it.
Are they still manufacturing the steel here, or do they take it?
I don't know if they run the factory here and it's just Swedish owned or not.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's...
I don't know if it just got bought out and shut down to not be a competitor or what.
Yeah, there's a couple things that have come out of that I think are worth mentioning. One is that, in year one he made 200 knives. And I think one of the things that is important, it would have been important for me to know this because I learned this a little late because I would hear a story like that and go, oh my gosh, like if I were to start something today, it wouldn't make 200 units. It wouldn't make 200 whatever.
Yeah. He had also been making knives
right, exactly.
on the side
so it's
for
like
10 years.
Yeah, so it takes, that's the thing, is that it takes like a very long time of doing the thing on the side.
And he also, I should note, he was a lineman. So he got his education and startup as an apprentice.
Okay.
So he came up through the trades and got financially stable as a journeyman lineman before he quit his job and started doing the knife business himself and scaled from there.
And he built a customer base, a small customer base.
He says to this day the biggest thing is friends and family references.
Yeah.
It's still spreading grassroots.
Yeah. So he built a customer base slowly over time before he And that was a big thing for me because in my head, I was like at work knowing I wanted to do this, knowing I wanted Hyper Premium to be something and being like, I can't see how I take it from what it is to something that can support a family this year. You know, because that's what I thought about in my head.
It
like
has
I
to
thought
immediately cash flow.
Yeah, I thought Josh Smith, like in my head, that's what I thought they did. Guys like Josh Smith, I thought they just went from nothing to having.
I just quit my job and
I
the
just
same
started my
year
business.
I was profitable.
Yeah, which is just not the case. You know, these guys, it takes them 5-10 years to like build this thing up over time to build that like base layer customer base.
Yeah. So that's for you guys who are young listening to this.
Yeah.
You guys are in your 20s or whatever, even your 30s, and you have any inkling that you would like to own a company or contribute to American manufacturing in some way. You're tired of buying Chinese or Indian made stuff that's cheap and then we're reliant on it and the steel isn't as good a quality, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We talked about toasters.
Yeah, toasters.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think
figure out how to make toasters.
yeah, figure out how to make toasters, figure out how to make microwaves, something like that. What did we call it yesterday? So we had a little writing session yesterday. When we called it, I was like, I'm out of gas. I can't keep going. And so we called it and split. It was like the perfect time because I went inside and cratered.
Did you?
Oh, dude, I was just in bed and I was like, I needed food. I was starving, but I could not summon the energy to get up. And my wife left. She like took the girls and went on, ran some errands. And I thought that it was the day before yesterday. So she like got home and was like, can you help me with the groceries? And I was like, oh yeah, I guess. I thought you were at the doctor. I totally forgot that you were not. I was like out of it, bro, out of it. And I went to bed again at like 8. Tired though. So there's, I guess we can say this. This is part of the reason why I am disgruntled with college and its ineffectiveness right now. I get that the concept of college is a great concept.
Yeah, we're not saying that no education is necessary.
Right.
Doctors, lawyers, engineers. You can't just become an engineer at home.
Even if you want to be a tradesman, I understand the concept of like it's a good idea to go get a liberal arts degree or whatever.
A tradesman?
Just hear me out. In the conceptualization of what a liberal arts degree is supposed to be. Okay. Like when the idea that it's supposed to teach you to think. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like the ability to consider and think. I do think it's probably a good idea to have like a general population of like plumbers and stuff who have had some exposure to another language and who know some of the canon, some of the Western canon.
As a counter to that, I don't think there's any reason you shouldn't be able to learn to think in high school.
Sure.
You should be taking logic classes in high school.
Yeah.
You should be taking money management courses in high school.
I mean, your parents should teach you how to manage your money.
If you're homeschooled. But I mean, you can also, it was a homeschool like co-op. It wasn't a co-op. It was just a lady who taught at a private school who also taught classes at home in like literature. Yeah. So it was called the Literature Circle class. And she also had a class called Entrepreneurial Economics.
Okay.
Where every student, we were required to start up a small business and run it for a period of time, keep track of all our hours that we put into it, and all the money we spent and made at it. And at the end, we got to see how much, what your hourly rate was, basically,
right?
Your return of investment.
Yeah, yeah. So like that's great. I think that's great. But I'm just saying the point that I'm making is that college in general, as a concept, I'm not attacking college conceptually. When it first came around and it was first probably offered to the average person, probably a good idea for most people. Now, today, colleges are so retarded and incapable of doing what they were originally designed to do that it's not.
Well, then you have the cost on top of that.
Yeah, you have the cost on top of it.
Even if it's a good degree, how much
debt are you going into to get that degree?
How much of a pit do you have to dig yourself out of to even become to get in the black again.
Right. Yeah. So college, I think, is extremely challenging today. And this has been said kind of ad nauseum. So I'm sorry if you've heard this idea before. It's not an original thought at all, but it's just this idea of like your early 20s are this time where you're supposed to be trying stuff out. I mean, I was a cook I was like a cook as in like a career cook, not like I worked at fast food restaurant. I was a cook. I was a sales guy. I tried my hand I dabbled in teaching. I tried all this stuff out, and college was only one aspect of that. I was a sales guy, so I tried like 5 different things before I was like, I can't do any of that. I have to be a writer. Like, there's no other choice for me.
Right. God didn't give you satisfaction in any of those endeavors.
Yeah, and often instead it gave me failure. And surrounded by people who are outperforming me because they want to be there.
Right, and we're not saying that that's bad.
Right, we're not saying that that's bad. Right.
We're saying that's a way of refining and figuring out where God wants you to be.
Yeah, that's how you figure out what you're good at.
The whole, like, what do you want to be question in high school.
I have no, every answer should be, I don't know.
I think it more or less is.
I'm going to get in there and try some stuff out. I mean,
but the idea that you would know with a certainty.
Right.
And then be able to commit 4 years to something.
Right.
Paying a ton of money.
Yeah, at 18, paying a ton of money.
If there's, especially if, what have you been able to try out?
Right, nothing.
All you have, I would just say probably the vast majority of high school students have little to no experience in any job field.
Right.
We don't grow up picking strawberries anymore.
Yeah.
Newspaper delivery is all done at night and in cars.
Yeah.
There's very few. I got a bicycle paper route when I was a teenager, but I think that's a more and more a fleeting thing.
It's probably just completely dead at this point, I would imagine.
Yeah, especially with the digital age. I mean, newspapers themselves are on the way out.
Yeah. And so I think there's as a high schooler now, you just get a job like at the grocery store or
it's fast food.
Yeah, you get a fast food job. And so the point is that college, the selling point, the pitch, the thing that they tell you college is this forum to go and learn, to figure out what you want to do and get exposure to this. Well, this is what it looks like to be in advertising. This is what it looks like to be a business analyst. This is what it looks like to be a veterinarian. This is what it looks like to do this, whatever. But it doesn't do that anymore. It doesn't. You go in, you are assigned a series of babysitters, of professors who are whatever. I'm not going to go in on college. It's not what this point of this episode is about. You get it. You know how we feel about it. The point of your 20s is to get out there and fail until you find something that you're good at and that you like.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing that, that is wasted time. You can't, because I think your money making years are in your like late 30s and 40s and 50s. Like that's where you're like, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm really good at it. I can charge a good amount of money for it, and people will pay that amount of money for it, and I can get out there and do it. And so if in your 20s you are spending that being effectively distracted by college that prepares you for nothing and gives you some amount of like social, it's busy work. It makes you feel like you're getting something done when you're getting nothing done.
And paying for it.
And paying for it. Yeah, you're paying to be babysat. You're paying for busy work. And that's really destructive.
Yeah, unless you're one of the people who does have very clear direction from an early age.
Yeah.
And follows through with that. And fantastic.
Yeah, great. Yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ran the numbers and know that the amount of debt you accumulate, or you're able to get your education for free or for greatly reduced amount, or you go to community college for half of it, whatever, if you go about it wisely, and if you have parents who guide you through that instead of going, you need to go to college, you need to go to college, you need to go to college.
Yeah.
For what? Just go to college. That's not good advice.
Right.
Don't just go to college because you should. That's
right.
A stupid reason.
Yeah.
And anyone who says that is not thinking.
Right. Yeah. Sam Hyde. I got to stop making so many Sam Hyde references, but he just makes so many good points. His thing is, if you have somebody telling you, if you're 15, you're 16, 17, 18, and you have somebody telling you have to go to college. That's the next step, is that you go to college.
Yeah.
That is the equivalent of somebody telling you, when you turn 18, after you graduate from high school, the next day you need to be able to afford a Ferrari. You have to be able to afford it. You just so whatever, just afford it. Like, it's the same level of logic of like, that's not, unless, again, like Jason said, unless you have a specific known path that you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer, one of these things that does, like, there's no way around it. College is obviously the optimal path there. Mm-hmm. There's just no...
there's no reason to waste time going and being a line cook,
right,
or whatever, if you know
right,
that you want to do X.
If I want to be an engineer, then the only thing that could possibly maybe offer you the same level of return that a college degree could is maybe spending a year being like a carpenter or something, so you get used to like measurements. But even then, don't you do that in college?
What kind of engineer? Is there any way that you can obtain some free experience getting hands-on with whatever it is? Job shadowing would be incredibly useful if they offer it in whatever you're looking into.
Yeah. So, listen, I don't want us to sit on college for forever, because I don't think that's what we want this episode to be about.
I think we should wrap up in about 10 minutes. We're at 36 minutes now, so if we want to make these shorter without couch cushions, we
can move on from. Wait, I'll wrap up the episode in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, I should.
You want to do it for an hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for an hour. Yeah.
All right.
We need to get people, some bang for their buck. So here, you have this area of skill building. All right. So this is kind of what I want to talk about here, is with Josh Smith and his manufacturing company, and I think that's great. And the trades, that's great. People, there are a lot of young guys. I can think of one specifically who's come to me and asked me specifically about work and what he should do and how to get a job and where to go, and I've had a couple of the guys come to me, just ask me general career advice, how to handle their boss, that kind of stuff. There does seem to be a sort of clamoring for answers around what to do about work for young men, and I think that a huge part of that is because people know subconsciously that the nature of work and what kind of jobs will be available is massively shifting as automation does become more effective. You guys know, I'm not a huge believer in AI, but there are obvious, irrefutable applications that if in the next 5 to 10 years it actually becomes the thing people hope that it could be, or at least half the thing people hope it could be, then it will, being on the line, being in manufacturing, basically, that isn't actually a realistic option unless you are going to own a company that manufactures something. You are going to do the manufacture, like you are being there, sitting there, and with your hands making the thing. That's probably not going to be possible for most people moving forward. A lot of those jobs are going to get automated away. A lot of farming is going to get automated away. You can go right now and look at, there's 17. I follow a guy on Twitter who has functioning, fully automated construction equipment, backhoes and everything, that you just tell it what to do and then it just goes and does it like a Roomba.
Yeah.
But it's a backhoe, and they work. So
I think with that, it's how costly is that compared to having the human operator, and how complicated is the job? Is it on a slope or something? There's a lot of factors.
The flip side of that is if you get Boston Dynamics to try to come put a human robot in to do a job, they're like, well, it can't operate. It can go for 30 minutes for you to recharge the battery. And if it gets too cold, you have to turn it off. And if it gets too hot, you have to turn it off. And we can get the bolt that you're trying to get into the thing, we can get it 85% of the time, and get it reasonably close, right? So these things, robotics, automation, it's not quite there, but everyone is staring down the barrel of this thing, like teetering on the edge of tipping over into being able to do huge swaths of what was handled by human labor, doing it, right? And many of these, like, non-minutia, you don't need it to be within an inch of its accuracy. Like, it can be whatever, or it's stationed. This machine does one particular movement over and over and over again. Like, that's already been around for quite some time, and it's
Yeah.
just getting better at doing that.
Right.
And so it's like my job on the manufacturing line is that when the cylinder comes here, I turn it over. Like
Yeah.
that's gone. Don't even hope that you can get that kind of job. And when you have these like conservative, neo Pat Buchanan-esque voices being like, we got to bring steel manufacturing back to America. By the time we get steel manufacturing back stateside, which I think it should be back stateside, it's all going to be done by robots, and it's just going to be people supervising the robots. That's it. That's all. That's going to be the job.
And repairing.
Right, and repairing the robots.
So I mean,
that's
there
a very
will
good
be.
point. Yeah.
I would assume there will be a ton of maintenance.
Yeah.
For very intricate machinery necessary, because every one of those really intricate movements is going to need someone who knows how to fix it when it breaks.
Right.
No machine's going to last forever. Everything wears out.
Yeah.
And those machines will need. So I mean, that might be a very highly technical and I would assume well-paid job if you're able to troubleshoot and repair intricate machinery, programs, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that absolutely is one of the kind of things I'm talking about.
Because the troubleshooting is what AI is not as great at.
Not as great at it at all. When you start having to go back and forth with AI, where it's like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? What about this? Well, what about this?
And also the
physical,
physical. So maybe it could diagnose something really well,
right,
and pinpoint it. But for you to get into that machinery, find the part,
get a little wire, and
work it through, that's. I would assume that's way on down the line. AI robots being able to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking in a 10-year span for a 22-year-old kid. That's a pretty big deal. Like, I'll make this practical. My job, okay, the entry level position is called inside sales or SDR, sales development representative. That's how you get my job. That's how you start. You're 21, whatever. You're 18. You don't want to go to school. You want to get an office job, whatever. To start my career path, you become an inside sales representative or an SDR. That job, my dad has been pretty reluctant to tell young guys to do what I do, and I've been pretty reluctant to tell young guys to do what I do, because the only people I've told to go get one of those jobs are guys like your brother-in-law, who I think are old enough and mature enough to get that job, be there for 6 months, and then jump to what I'm doing. Because I don't my soon-to-be brother-in-law, my sister's fiance, he had a moment where he was going to try to come do what me and my dad do.
Yeah.
And so he went out there and applied to a ton of jobs, and a lot of the feedback he got was they'd start the interview process and they go, well, we're just going to kind of try software for now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the entry-level sales jobs are getting automated away because it's just email transactions. It's just email interactions, basically.
Right.
It's all, and you can call somebody, it's all the pre-sales motions are getting automated away. And and coming right behind that, once buyers, people who who are trying to buy a software, get to the point where they can tell an AI, I need this software to do this. I need you to go find it and purchase it for me. I'm done. My job ceases to exist. As soon as they get to a place where the AI can figure that out and do it on its own, we're done. There's no reason for me to exist anymore. You just go get an AI to sell it. So you just have two AIs talking to each other. They'll agree on price, whatever, and they'll just do it all. They'll just automate it all away. So I don't see my job existing in 10 years.
Gotcha.
It's a very serious probability that my job is just done.
Sector.
So if you are a 22-year-old kid who is I'm going to go in sales and I'm going to make a bunch of money and I'm going to get around the system, I don't have to go to college and I can make $500,000 a year doing this, whatever. That's probably not true if you're going to do my career path. I don't think I will, even if this doesn't happen and I do have to go get a job doing something else, that job will almost certainly not be sales in the long run. Or I'm going to have to make enough money on the front end to buy enough Bitcoin that I don't have to worry about a job later on in life, because I don't think my job is going to exist that much longer. So if you're 22, I think that there are many fields like that right now that are they still exist, and everybody doing it doesn't really have the sense that it's over. But it definitely is over. And so I think you have to be pretty
They might be the last generation to really.
right to benefit from it. Yeah, certainly. Or at the very least, they'll be the last generation of people making money at it.
Gotcha.
Like that is like maybe the middle ground. It's like so much
It's
of
not
that
gonna be
job.
massive money.
Yeah, it's not massive money. Anybody could kind of do it. It's not, whatever. Like the idea right now with salespeople is that you can't really teach a good salesperson to be a good salesperson. They just are or are not. They're either an unformed blob that you can kind of mold into a good salesperson, or they just don't have it at all. So that's why you pay salespeople so much, because you can't replicate them. You can only find them.
Gotcha.
So the idea there being that if it doesn't matter anymore, that skill set doesn't matter because buyers are not people, they're machines. What's the point of having a good salesperson? You have to figure out. So
Right.
the
It's only good for humans talking to humans.
right, and that is coming. That's coming more and more. And so you do have to. If you're a young guy right now, I think you have to be pretty ruthless in your evaluation of careers. Like being a doctor, I don't know how much longer there's going to be just a lot of doctors. Like if AI is, AI is already pretty good at diagnostics. And so if what we really need is hands
And it can reference millions of other images.
right. Like, yeah, it can do the
And data
research
points.
way faster than a normal human can. So like how much longer will there be, however millions of doctors there are in the US right now? How long is that going to be, as opposed to just like it's going to shift to there's like one doctor in a doctor's office and he's overseeing a bunch of like
Low-level medical.
low-level medical professionals that are using AI, and he's just making sure they don't mess up.
Right.
And that's it. And that's the only. And so there's just like there's an order of magnitude less doctors.
Right.
And so it's just like
Because the diagnostic side is
and
become so effective.
right. And
Our EKG machines, when I was a paramedic, would give a readout of what the rhythm was.
yeah.
They would take a good guess at it.
Yeah.
And you were trained not to like pay attention to that. You were supposed to interpret it. You can kind of double check yourself and be like, what is it? Or if you're like, what on earth is this?
Right.
And you can look at what it thinks it is.
Right.
But it would call, ST elevation, myocardial infarctions, heart attacks. There'd be a big red like sticker on it and be like, STEMI.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it knew all those.
Yeah. So you could like, and that's only going to increase. It's only going to increase further and further. And so I don't know if doctors specifically are going to be the one. It seems like doctors and lawyers are going to be like kind of the first out the door. But I don't know that. I'm not making that prediction. I don't know that to be true. But that is going to happen to a lot of jobs.
Yeah, just listen to our reasoning on that and decipher for yourself whether or not you think that's true.
Yeah.
This is an opinion.
Yeah, and just look it up. Look into this stuff. The thing you don't want to be is the last guy. You're watching the last peep. The door closes behind the last. You're the second to last in line. You do not want to be that guy standing there with
your degree,
3 other million people with a doctor's degree, and there's no more jobs left. Right? That's the worst possible position to be in. Pivoting any time before that moment is better than being the one that is the last guy not in the door, because then then all of your time that you've spent becoming a doctor is now worthless or close to worthless because the amount of doctor positions has drastically been reduced.
Yeah.
And so it's
As far as the AI thing, that whole transition period, Josh Smith, the CEO of the Montana Knife Company, he said that he said he would rather hire a young person who's enthusiastic and eager to learn than a 45-year-old who has a bad attitude or has had a bunch of bad experiences. The reason being, he said, in their experience, they've had very good luck with the Zoomers.
yeah.
The next generation coming up, said his evaluation is that they're very intelligent. And he said they hired one guy on when he was like 20, 0 experience. Oh, and they almost never hire anyone with any knife making experience.
Yeah.
They train them up in the company. So it's basically an apprenticeship.
Right.
You get a paid job, I'm sure not at a high wage, but
Yeah.
you show aptitude for it and you move up in the company. You learn to work with the CNC machines. I hope that's the right term.
I think so.
Okay, that sounds right. CNC machines, the ones that not print out, but they carve parts, I believe.
I think that is the CNC machine.
Yeah. So
Almost
it's not a 3D printer. It is something, I believe, that you put a program into it and it'll carve out whatever
Yeah.
it is out of a bunch of different materials. It can happen with wood, plastic, metal, in my understanding. So you can manufacture any piece out of it as long as you have the correct program plugged into it. It'll just do whatever it's told to do.
Yeah.
So his point is that now that kid, like 3 years later, is working the CNC machine.
Right.
He doesn't know yet how to program it, but he said in another 3 years, he probably will.
Right.
If they keep moving him up, if he stays there. So that's like that kid started with nothing.
Right.
I'm sure he didn't have a college degree at 20.
Right. Yeah.
At least not all of one.
Right. Not all of one. Yeah. Yeah. Certainly. Yeah. And so I think,
I'm sorry. But his other point was that with the older, the old fogies like him, he goes, with this AI that's moving so rapidly, the technology shift that's happening, he goes, if you have a bunch of young people at your company, they might be the ones to help you transition through that because they're coming up with a lot more hands-on experience with technology.
Right.
How social media works, how all of that, because they've just been a part of it, whereas
Right.
you weren't.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's another thing that's also important to kind of talk about with the future of work thing, which is that, you see with every generation, I'm in the limbo state between Zoomer and millennial. I don't know what I am. I'm 95, and you see like a lot of people are like, no, 95.
Some people lump you in with one,
Yeah,
some the other.
yeah. It's a lot. It's very different.
Yeah,
like the
you're
New
on-
York Times itself has said two different things. Like they've said millennial is cut off as 95, but also the Zoomer cut off as 90. So I don't know. But
Okay.
So I've got to see millennials come into the workforce when I was very young. The older millennials start their careers, and I got to watch them get really hit because these boomers and Gen Xers were like, oh, millennials are so entitled and they don't want to show up to work on time and they did yada, yada, yada. And then I've also gotten to see some of the same stuff happen to Zoomers where these millennial guys, these guys that are 35 or whatever, and they're hiring Zoomers, come in and they have to like explain things to Zoomers, I guess, or whatever, saying the opposite. Zoomers are kind of stupid. But there's always going to be that like intergenerational conflict. And
One thing I will mention with the younger folks in service jobs is just that the dead face.
yeah,
Have you gotten that? Do you
not so much
notice
here
that?
in the city. Yeah, in the city for sure. Not so much
Okay.
here. Here I'm usually actually
I think you'll
pretty
see it in the fast foods and whatnot.
impressed
Oh, are
with
you?
young
Okay.
people. Yeah, by their enthusiasm for whatever it is that's happening
Good.
around them.
Sure. So more rural areas.
Yeah, but
Further out.
I'm also very, you know me. As soon as there's 10 people in a room that start agreeing with something, I immediately am like, well, I just disagree on the merits that you all think the same thing. So as soon as there's any sort of like hegemony in what people think, I'm like on the opposite side. So as soon as people are like, Zoomers are dumb and dull, I'm like, I think Zoomers are pretty smart.
My point is, and maybe this is just like with the millennials, there were dumb, lazy ones.
Right.
Every generation. got 'em.
Yeah, they all have dumb, lazy people. Yeah, and they're at fast food restaurants. Who would have thought?
Yeah, true. So maybe this isn't an issue. It's just that kind of person is not going to be successful.
Right.
But if you're listening to this and you have no facial expression because you are used to interacting online too much,
Yeah.
look in the mirror and like
Well,
practice smiling a little bit more.
That was my very first job.
Make eye contact is one of the things. And maybe that's just a young person thing, not making eye contact.
Yeah, I got taught to this is one of the things that I think is frustrating for me to see for Zoomers, see for young guys, is people get upset that you have to teach them stuff. You're upset that you're upset that they weren't just printed out as like a full-fledged 35-year-old man who knows to make eye contact and shake hands and smile. Like what if no one told them that?
Well, that's the thing.
Why
I
would-
don't think you should reach 18 and not know how to shake hands and
Right,
make
but
eye contact.
it's not the 18-year-old's fault. That's a skill. Like interpersonal interaction's a skill. If no one taught him that, why is that his fault? That's not his fault. That's everyone else's fault around him. They failed him. When I was 16
Every
years
high
old,
school teacher.
every high school
And his
teacher
parents.
and his parents failed him. When I was 16, I had
by allowing him a smartphone when he was a kid.
right, yeah, maybe so. I didn't have a full-fledged smartphone until I was like 15. When I was 16, I worked at a movie theater, and the people that worked there that ran the movie theater were burnout losers. They were not industrious people. They were all to a man alcoholic, drug addicts, and it's in many cases literally child molesters. We'll save that story for another time. But I'll just tell this one story. One time I changed from my normal uniform to like a tuxedo because we were having like an opening night or whatever, and so you wore like a special tux as one of the door people.
Oh, really?
And,
okay.
And so they put me on the tux. Wear a tux. We're gonna do whatever. And I was 16, and one of the managers, who was like a 24-year-old woman, came in, gave me the thing, watched me change, and hit on me the whole time. Like made comments about my body and how good I looked.
Wow.
The whole time. Okay. So that's the type of people I'm talking about here. All right.
Please don't take this as if you work at a movie theater, you're a child molester.
Yeah.
Don't take it there.
Yeah, certainly not. Yeah.
Sakes.
If you, a lot of people are doing that lately. Not child molesting, but just extrapolating the specific thing we're talking about to them. So these are the type of people I'm talking about, and those people still had the self-awareness, the like mindfulness to come up to me at my first job and say, "You have such a deadpan face. It looks scary. You look angry. You need to smile." And it
lay off the RBF.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just started smiling more, and that was that.
Okay.
And I had a teacher. And we had a class called Teen Leadership, which is like the only public school class I've ever gotten anything from. But it was from a good teacher named Mrs. Beam. She was the best. She was awesome. And in the class, you learned to make eye contact, get a good handshake, how to talk to people. It was like somebody was taking How to Win Friends and Influence People, the book.
Yeah.
They read it and like, let's make a class out of this for young people.
Oh, nice.
And it was a great class. It was phenomenal.
Cool.
And so, but it was like, I don't have a good handshake because somehow in my head at 15 years old, I sussed out that you need to have a good handshake. Somebody taught me how to do that.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
also I feel like just from interacting, if you have maybe this is the problem, if you're always online and you don't have a lot of interpersonal interactions, that's not as common, right? Not as core to life growing up for the Zoomers.
Yeah.
You would meet men who had a strong, firm handshake and would give you a weird look if you gave them a limp fish handshake.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean,
so I feel like that's
just
I feel like that's just something I picked up from living life.
There's this theory that's like Zoomers are our internet kids and like are not having these social interactions.
Okay.
And there's this like, oh, Zoomers, the drinking with Zoomers has gone down because they're not social and they don't want to go out. But like, I invited several Zoomers to our most recent pool party.
Yeah.
And they showed up and they were extremely personable. They had a couple beers. They acted extremely normal. And then they helped clean up and left. They did exactly what you would expect them to do.
I think they've been raised in a. I'm saying not. They are not an abandoned internet kid.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know how true it is actually that kids are spending all this time online. I mean, I think it's probably it's increased because kids like video. To deny that it is increased would be retarded, but to make the assertion that it's completely usurped every young person's social life, I think is equally retarded.
Are you thinking? Am I saying that?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
No. I think you've said that's hampering some of them, but what I'm seeing, like the other interactions that I have with people who are interacting with Zoomers, is one of the stories I can tell you is there was a kid who was he was an employee of a Gen Xer, and the Gen Xer wanted him to go cut wood. Okay. And he just said, "Go cut wood." And the Zoomer said, "How much wood do you want me to cut?" And that made the Gen Xer angry.
Well, that's ridiculous.
But that's what these guys are they're constantly all the time. I mean, I just went through it with a millennial, my boss, who hired me knowing that I was like a green, he hired me in my 20s. I was a green kid who didn't know what he was doing necessarily. I had some experience, and I wasn't. You could throw me out there and I could handle it, but it wasn't going to be optimal.
Yeah.
And we ended up I quit because he was like, "Why don't you know how to do this stuff?" And I was like, "I told you I didn't know how to do it. When you hired me, you said you were going to teach me." And then as soon as actually having to teach occurred to him, he was like, "Well, I don't want to do this." So who's actually lazy and stupid here? Because I'm here learning. I'm here grinding every day, getting in front of customers, going terrified, not knowing what to do, and just doing it to make the best that I can out of it. And it's going well. You're the one who doesn't want to do anything. You're the one who wants this printout person to just come and be here and
to coast.
And to just, you just want to be able to just say, do this, and then you just do it.
Yeah.
So,
as opposed to the Montana Knife Company, which takes completely inexperienced Zoomers,
takes responsibility for those kids,
and teaches them how to assemble a knife,
right,
and then moves them up if they have a good attitude and want to learn more.
Right. Exactly.
Cool. Yeah. We have a position open. Higher up. Would you like it?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And so
good attitude is going to get you everywhere.
Yeah, good attitude is going to get you everywhere. And that's a great, for Zoomers, that is something you can take personal responsibility for. If you show up and you don't know what you're doing and you have a bad attitude, just quit.
They probably will.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's not great. By and large, I think...
If you do run into one of those Gen Xers or millennials or whoever as your boss, and they get frustrated with you for not knowing something, you can be the adult, remain calm, and just say, "I'd like to learn how. Nobody's taught me this.
Yeah.
Can you teach me? Or can someone else here teach me? I'd like to learn."
Yeah, or just ask them
And if he's unwilling to do that, then job's over.
Right, job's over. Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
You don't want to be there.
You don't want to be there. And you can very calmly, very politely, I think it's good to stand up for yourself a little bit. So very calmly, very politely, and in the most sympathetic way you can, ask him very gently, when you were 19, did you know how to do what you're asking me to do?
Yeah.
And if his answer is, yeah, of course, he's lying and you're in square one, just quit. But most likely he will probably go, "No, I didn't." Yeah. All right. And he might be grumbly about it. He'll get over it, but he will... Getting him to remember that time and be empathetic, you'll probably jar some.
Did you know what you know at 50 did you know the same thing at 20 that you know now at 50?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Did you change not at all in 30 years?
Yes.
Did you hit 20 as a fully developed career person and then not change for 30 years? No.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have another friend who is in his late 30s, about to be 40, and he was telling me a story about how he when he started working in HVAC and doing like commercial refrigeration repair, he was young, and there was a bunch of other young guys there, and their foreman was just this grumpy old dude who was always pissed off at everybody, and why are you guys always doing this, whatever, and they always just made fun of him and didn't respect him, whatever, and now he is the old foreman, and he constantly is like, "I have to check myself," because they break something.
Yeah.
The young guys break something. And I'm like, why did you break it? Like, whatever. And so it's just like, you put yourself in their shoes as well. Like, they have a job to do. They have a family to support. They've got a million things going on. They've got financial, whatever. They've got their thing too. So put yourself, like, have some reciprocal empathy for each other. And old people realize that the young guy doesn't know what he's doing because nobody taught him that. And you're the one that's supposed to teach him.
Yeah.
But young people also realize that their job isn't to teach you. Their job is to do their job. And if teaching you something, it becomes part of that, then that's awesome. But don't, nobody just don't enter into these agreements where you just expect these tremendous, miracles from each other.
Yeah.
Just understand that and so I think that's kind of, so if you're a young person, you're worrying about the future of work, you need to be ruthless in evaluating the career path you've chosen. I think most of the trades are probably safe. I can't imagine that you're going to have robots doing plumbing within the next 10 years or doing electrical work in the next 10 years.
It's too much.
Yeah,
There's too much that the human hand can do.
Yeah.
And that the human mind can do along with it that would be able to be replaced economically
Yeah.
by a robot anytime soon that I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, you try.
Go ahead and surprise me, but
Yeah. I mean, watch these robots that can walk right now try to walk into a home. Like,
an unfinished home,
Yeah.
or navigate an unfinished floor
yeah.
where it's just
Yeah.
joists and
Yeah.
walking along joists,
Yeah. Exactly.
or navigating a million different styles of attics,
Yes.
with people's junk in it,
Yes. Yeah. The
without
one
getting
thing.
their cameras clouded with dust.
Yeah, the one thing you might see in the next 10 years is maybe we get the robotics side of this thing advanced enough that you can have work from home plumbers or whatever who are just like playing a video game and the thing they're controlling is the robot in someone's home. Maybe you might get that, but even then, dude, I don't know.
But then you're paying for the robot and someone to control it.
Yeah,
you
just
still
pay-
got to pay for the guy controlling it.
Right, exactly. So what's the economic? Yeah, is that even feasible? Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, is that actually even economically feasible?
Yeah, it's got to be automated to some degree. So
Yeah,
in that
you're right.
case, I would say the only thing that really could be automated is like new house builds. You got track homes; they're all almost exactly the same. Where there's like 2 or 3 layouts that they rotate
Right. Yeah, and all the machines are programmed specifically
for
to
A,
do,
B, or C.
Right. Yeah.
And then in
Yeah.
the right order.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, a plumber who's coming in
Just have somebody to
an
go over there
existing-
and turn the robots up when something was where it shouldn't be and they tripped over it and fell.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a rock there.
Yeah, the foremans now all foremans are just robot babysitters. They're just coming out.
Yeah, picking robots up that fell over.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, exactly like that's kind of what we're talking about. Is like it may not in the next 10 years you may not see the complete expulsion of all construction workers, but like you might see a drastic reduction in the amount of construction workers that are needed. And
You might not have grunts hauling equipment.
right, yeah,
You'll have like little tread crawlers that are get loaded with heavy materials and
yeah, just run it in. Yeah, you might not have the guy working the shovel may not be there anymore.
which might mean that you don't have to break your back doing construction. Maybe you could have 80-year-old construction guys because they're just doing a little joystick with their.
Right.
They don't have to haul all the heavy stuff anymore.
Right, they're just walking behind it with a controller.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the trades are probably
Way
safe.
to wrap it up.
Okay. I think the trades are probably safe. I want to stay away from making specific predictions here.
Yeah.
Because it's so.
Don't take any of this as just it's all
This is
considerations.
Here it is. This is a warning to make doubly sure that your career is going to exist in 10 years. That's what this is. All right. Go to the people who are doing the job right now, the people who are self-aware enough to not let their fear be like, oh, that's not going to happen. I'm going to have a job forever. Like, don't, find somebody who's self-aware enough to be like, yeah, this is a risk, and talk to them. Evaluate what your career actually entails. What are the skills that it can do? And what are these machines getting good at doing right now? And if there's overlap, you need to start, jogging your noggin here and try and maybe think about an alternative. But then also be pretty ruthless in your evaluation. Once you've decided on a career, be pretty ruthless in your evaluation of the companies and the people you're going to work for. If they are disgruntled Gen Xers, boomers, millennials, or whatever, who are going to be like, well, why don't you just know how to do the thing I've never taught you how to do? If they're going to be like that, then don't work for them. And you don't have to just take the first job you can get. You can go get a job at a retail store for the time being if you're 18, figure out how to pay rent while you're figuring out what you want to do, and select the job that's right for you. And you're going to have to get a couple jobs you don't like, whatever, to learn how to find a good job.
You got to cut your teeth somewhere.
Yeah, you're going to have to get a couple.
It's going to be uncomfortable. Just
Yeah.
brace yourself for being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Be a man.
So that's the be a man. Be a man. Yeah. So that's kind of I think that's the thrust of this episode is that the nature of work is going to see a pretty drastic change, reevaluation over the next 10 years, and that is going to way more affect you than it is me. If you're 20 years old, that is going to have a much more drastic effect on you than it is me, because I'm already here. So, and I already make a bunch of money. So I don't need, like, I'm this close to retirement anyway. So what does it matter to me if my job doesn't exist in 10 years? And every sales guy worth his salt whatever, it doesn't matter. Just really, really make sure that you're investing this time that you have now well in a career that is going to exist in the future. And when you decide on a good career, make sure you are investing that time in the right company and in the right people who are going to turn around and be reciprocal about that. That's the warning. So just really be prepared for some tectonic shifts under your feet. Get agile, get ready to shift. And like in our last episode, have some faith. All right? Because you are going to, I know a lot of young guys who've gotten married pretty young too, and that's scary. You know, if you realize that all of a sudden your career may not exist in 5 years and you have a wife who wants children or is currently having children, and you're like, I'm 22, I already don't make any money, and now I'm staring down the barrel of my job not existing in 5 years, that's very scary. So my empathy is with you for sure. But have some faith, all right? Don't lose heart. Don't lose hope. Don't let fear overtake you. The Lord is going to take care of you. You're going to be fine, okay? Everybody, when the cotton gin was invented, we didn't have hunger and desolation didn't just explode into the agricultural world where everybody who was a cotton farmer or whatever before just starved to death immediately, right? They all found places to allocate their labor and ways to feed themselves. You'll be fine, okay?
Yeah.
But just be serious.
Don't be too afraid of your career changing too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might have a few careers.
Yeah.
Or don't be so set like I'm going to be this until the day I die.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always had, for as long as I can remember, I just wanted a family.
Yeah.
And second to that, I wanted something I could do with my family.
Yeah.
Preferably.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not directly involved in this right now, but
there's no
can
reason,
be
yeah, there's no
in
reason
the
they
future.
couldn't be.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to build something. We're trying to build something that our families can actively participate in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
This could absolutely be something that any of them could work in should they want to.
Yeah, you have a son that's highly likely, when it's time for you and I to peace out.
Yeah.
You got a son that's might very well be the one to
the
take up
empire.
the reins. Yeah, just, hey, pass it off to him. Yeah, so, yeah, certainly. You don't know what's going to happen. And you are in a more tumultuous time than most young people trying to find jobs. And so you just need to be aware of that. That's it.
What I was going to say is that I didn't ever have an idea really of what I wanted to do very specifically.
Yeah.
I had a lot of interests. Well, that seems neat. That would be cool.
Yeah.
What if this? I wasn't the guy who knew exactly what I was going to do when I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And I think that's been helpful to me because, I did the paramedic thing for a while. I thought that was solid. Didn't end up being as solid as God showed me that even a career path that you think at the time is indestructible.
Right.
Economically viable, recession-proof, whatever. God has a way of showing you that it's not.
Yeah.
So
how about a fake medical crisis that's like totally changes the history and trajectory of every profession? Yeah. Yeah.
We're not saying it didn't exist. We're saying it was overblown.
Yeah.
Just please don't.
Yeah. For Jason's sake, yeah, we'll say it was overblown. All right, guys, listen, it is an exciting time. Chaos, what's the thing that the guy, Littlefinger or whatever from Game of Thrones says? Chaos is a ladder.
I have no idea.
That Game of Thrones is completely gay and useless, but that saying is not totally void of wisdom.
What is it again?
Chaos is a ladder.
Okay.
So when things start to shift and the old order is kind of falling and the new order is being created, it's much easier to find a higher place in the new order than it would be in the old order because everybody's already there.
Because you don't have to crawl up it.
Right, yeah. So it's just you
might be able to leap and grab a rung on its way up.
Right, exactly. So as things change, those people who are ingenious enough and adaptable enough to stay focused and in the pocket when that occurs will be the ones to come out drastically higher and better off than those who got disgruntled or set in their ways. So it's an exciting time. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about the future.
Keep your eyes open. Keep your finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
And be ready to change if you need to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, closing example. Last thing. We have said many times on here that the end goal that we see for Hyper Premium is full-length feature film animation. If you go online right now and see what people think about doing that, endeavoring to do that right now, everybody who's currently doing that is like, well, AI is going to ruin it, and you're not going to have a job, and you can't do this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Jason and I's opinion is that AI is only going to make it so that he and I can do it even easier. So all the people who are complaining about how AI is taking all these writers and
AI has no creativity or soul.
It's a tool. It is a tool.
It's a tool. So it can be very useful.
Yeah.
But it cannot and never will be able to write.
Right. People that have Jason and I's mindset about emerging technologies are going to eat the lunch of people who are like, oh, this is never right. So just adopt it. Adopt it is what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah. So it's an exciting time.
Adopt it wisely.
Adopt it wisely.
Like be Amish a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't grab onto it too hard, too fast, and get caught up in the excitement.
Don't lose your humanity to
right.
Yeah.
But adopt things as they make sense.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe a little faster than the Amish.
Yeah, a little fast. Yeah, a little faster than the Amish. So, guys, it's an exciting time. It's a time full of hope. I know it's scary because there's so much uncertainty, but I promise you that uncertainty is actually the fuel for growth. That is where you are going to make your money. That is where you're going to. In that uncertainty is where you're going to make your mark on the world. So lean into that uncertainty and try new things out. Don't be afraid to fail, and just get out there, man. Burn that time in your 20s. Just don't burn it playing video games and drinking with your buddies, you know? Burn it making mistakes. Getting out there.
If you do burn it on video games, make it like the strategy
yeah.
Because at least you'll be working through the long-term planning and exercising those muscles. That I think does have some use to it.
Yeah.
And if you're used to resource allocation, then you just mentally are like, I don't have enough to build the barracks yet.
Yeah, and if you're
to build the barracks, I have to allocate this many villagers for this long on these resources.
If your job is going to be some sort of fine motor skill thing, that's going to be your bet. Then pick up first person shooters. You know.
There you go. So be wise about your video game.
Be wise. Yeah.
If you're gonna play them
for a reason.
Find the ones that will benefit you a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't make it your whole life.
Yeah. All right.
With that,
gentlemen, please go to church. Find a church. Find a good church. Go to that church. Attend it. Find a woman. Marry her.
And have some babies.
Once you have those babies, please catechize them, raise them in the ways of the Lord. We love you guys. We are praying for you. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.